Yo, Cultural Confederates! Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Cultural Confederacy here. And this story is for all you hockey fans out there, especially those in Canada. And this comes to us by way of the Canadian Press, CTV, or CTV by the way of Canadian Press, however you want to say it. Hockey Canada goes woke. And a shout out to everybody watching in Canada. Let me know where you're watching these videos or the channel from. I had somebody contact me from Australia, somebody from Wales, so I never know who I'm reaching, but I have a lot of fun doing this channel, and thank you again for watching, subscribing, being a part of this thing called the Culture Confederacy. So it says here that Hockey Canada, and this is a little story that's out there that nobody's covering, so I thought I'd talk about it. And it's funny, whenever I do these little stories that nobody's covering, all of a sudden they balloon and they get covered on Fox News or CNN. Like the one about the women shaving their hair to protest the patriarchy after Trump got elected. Nobody was talking about that story. Just a couple of us here on YouTube. And all of a sudden that story sprouted legs. So at any rate, it says here, Hockey Canada is holding a summit this week to address sexism, gender-based violence, and LGBTQ issues, transphobia, homophobia, etc. And this year's summit makes the second such event. It's known as Beyond the Boards. And the keynote speaker is Norman Hector. Now, the two-day summit takes place in Ottawa, starts tomorrow, Thursday, and covers unhealthy outcomes in hockey culture, how to make hockey more inclusive, less offensive, less toxic. It's a toxic man sport. Now get this, folks. Norman Hector, who is from St. John, New Brunswick, pardon me, I can't even talk tonight, identifies as gay and is also a drag performer who goes by the name Normani. Not Normandy, but Normani. I used to be Joe, but now I'm Joanna. Used to be Dave, but now I'm Davidina. Ladies and gentlemen, featuring Davidina in tonight's drag show. Drag Show 2024. So at any rate, so it says here that Norman Hector rather, that he performed at the Memorial Cup and Pride Night hosted by Quebec's Maritimes Junior Hockey League St. John Sea Dogs earlier that year, earlier in the season. And Hector was recruited by Hockey New Brunswick in 2018 to 2019 to speak to players, coaches, and families on how to create a more respectful, inclusive sport. Now, he says that he comes from a diverse background and is blessed to have the opportunity to educate, try to change mindsets of people who are involved in hockey in Canada. And he wants to share his story, and he calls himself a disruptor. And there are other disruptors. He's using this in the positive sense here, to make people more aware of LGBTQ issues, inclusivity in hockey in Canada. Sharing the stories from other players, coaches, families, etc., who are shaping modern hockey. Now, the first summit held last year was in response to pressure put on Hockey Canada after there were allegations of sexual assault by members of the national junior men's hockey team at the 2018 London, Ontario Gala. And this surrounds 5 players who went on to play in the NHL. I told you I can't talk tonight, but we're just going to run through this, okay? So these 5 players, this is starting to sound like the Duke lacrosse case. So these 5 players went on to play in the NHL, and there is a jury trial for them that's scheduled next year. And in 2022, it was revealed that Hockey Canada had used a portion of the minor hockey fees to settle similar lawsuits. There are also issues such as racism, hazing, homophobia, or accusations of racism, hazing, homophobia, discrimination, you name it. And because of this, they lost sponsors. You know the drill. Go woke, go broke. Now, according to Hockey Canada's president, who started their term during the first summit last year in 2023, she said this was a real eye-opener, this first summit, and reinforced that there is more work to be done. You ever notice that? They always say there's more work to be done. We have more work to do. Because if we stopped racism, sexism, homophobia, you name it, they'd have nothing to do. So we have more work to do. Now, other people attending the seminar in Ottawa include longtime NHL executive Brian Burke, Olympic swimmer Mark Tewksbury, and transgender athlete Harrison Brown. And the topics will include, get this, folks, get this, will include sexism, gender-based violence, and LGBTQ phobia, homophobia, transphobia, and NHB, or the HNB, I can't get it right tonight. Their target audience is the U13 League, which is 11 to 12 years old, and up to 18 years of age, or the U18 League. Talking to coaches, families. So how do you like that one? Hockey Canada has finally gone woke. They have a summit this week, story nobody is talking about, so I thought I'd talk about it. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. You can follow me at Instagram, hashtag Jason Composes, because I write music in my spare time, or you can go to X, Culture Confederacy, at Culture Confed1 on X. This is the Culture Confederacy. And don't forget to catch me at Substack, too. In fact, I might write a story about this at Substack. So this is the Culture Confederacy saying peace out, stay safe, everybody. God bless this thing called the United States. I'll catch you next time, and you all have a great Wednesday night. Take care.